about the different ways that you can measure riparian health. So in this, we do provide a lot of information about field-based methods and the helicopter method, and then the satellite information, so you can see more examples of maybe what it looks like on the ground to have riparian intactness, what that might actually look like on the ground. My favorite part about this part of the web portal is this taking action page right here. And so in this section, we list some best management practices depending on the type of landowner that you might be. So anybody from the public can come to this, and there's a suite, that includes municipal elected officials, lakeside landowners, educational groups for kids, or community initiatives such as this. And so what we do is in each of these sections, there are a suite of unique best management practices, as well as a suite of resources below them, such as, for agricultural producers, there's links to environmental farm plan, to cows and fish if you want to get a further assessment completed. There's at least 10 or more links in there, and we just want to continuously improve and increase those resources over time. So if you notice that there is a link in there that you would like to see that isn't there, then by all means reach out to us and let us know. So I just want to recap on that. The Riparian web portal does have a public-facing view, and it also has an administrator-facing view. So in it, the difference between them is that you don't need a login in order to gain access to the ability to have this data set. It allows you to zoom into a limited perspective. The summarization tool is available to you. You have availability to the Intactness data set, and you can view projects on the ground. And for the administrator side, we do have a little bit of training that we do to train certain types of project coordinators to first of all know how the data sets work and what the caveats are for that information, and then that opens it up to the possibility that they're able to zoom into a site level extent. They also have they're also able to access the summarization tool. They also have all three data sets as well, the pressure assessment and the prioritization. And then they're able to upload projects on the ground. So so really this side of the web portal is really designed for project coordinators that are working with landowners to help provide that access and sharing those and celebrating those projects on the ground. So some other tools that we have been developing as a WPAC group, and also with the GOA, is a few more data sets, or a few more ways to summarize the information. So what you're seeing here is a water body summary document, and so this is something that we have produced. It's a 2-page document, a really quick assessment about, what is the state of this particular water body, what is a riparian intactness assessment, and what's the summary of results for this particular water body, as well as, why are riparian areas important? So this is really, there's a really great watershed stewardship group that exists on Wizard Lake, and they have included this particular pamphlet in a little binder that they've given out to all their residents, or are planning to give it out to the residents. As Sherry mentioned, this is spatial data, so you can also create some summaries at any extent that you want. And so we have been developing a municipal summary template, and what our plan is to work with each of the municipalities working together in order to put our data sets together, in order to come up with quite a comprehensive package, easy to understand for each one of the municipalities, where we're bringing that data together for them, and we're not, coming at them separately as different WPACs. So we're working together as a group of WPACs to produce this, and it hopefully will be coming to your municipality soon. The next one would be a sub-watershed summary. And yes, so these are summary reports that have come directly from the report with Fiera, but we as well at NSWA have created, a template to share this information in a way that we think our stakeholders would want to see it. So just recapping on those tools and resources, we've got the Riparian web portal. It has those different functions, providing the map data, showcasing projects on the ground, showcasing riparian resources, as well as a water body summary, a municipal summary, and a watershed summary. So that's the suite of resources that we have, communication products that we've created from this project. And I just wanted to really, really quickly showcase how 3 different groups, stakeholder types, might use this information. So the first is a watershed stewardship group, like a lake group or a creek group. The first thing that we would recommend is get some training on the Riparian web portal. You are the target kind of audience that we are looking for to be able to to get trained in that administrative access. So with that training, you would get a login, you'd learn how to use the Riparian web portal, and then we would encourage you to upload your completed projects on the ground. We would also encourage you to acquire a water body summary that you can share with your residents to showcase, where your highly impacted riparian areas are, or your good quality riparian areas are. And then the third would be to be working with your landowners to reach out to them. You're a key group to be able to make that connection with your neighbors, to encourage restoration projects on the ground or conservation projects. And then once you do, then we encourage you to upload those projects on the Riparian web portal and showcase those. Our next target audience would be a municipality. And so we would first, it's likely that you would receive one of these municipal summary reports that will be coming, that we are intending to send to you. In it, we would help you identify what your priority water bodies are, and then we would encourage you to work with your WPAC to set regional targets, which Sherry mentioned as well. So the next would be, we encourage you to go get trained. You're also a key audience that we would like to be using the Riparian web portal. You would get that login, and again, upload some completed projects on the ground. If you were involved with, for example, a pond leveler project, that is a riparian project. It's a really exciting one. Not everybody knows about it. And so even those kinds of projects we are hoping to showcase and really just spread this map with as many stars as we can. And then the last action here is, you're really involved with protecting riparian areas at that municipal, local level through your policy and planning. And so to really begin prioritizing conservation and restoration efforts as well, and incorporating, this prioritization data into that planning system that you might have. So the last group are our landowners, and obviously, so much of our landscape is privately owned, and so these are a really key audience. We can't put projects on the ground unless we have unless we have buy-in from the landowners, and so what we would anticipate happening is that a private landowner might receive, a document like this that might come from their local stewardship group, or they might see that that more municipal level document. And so that's likely the first step of exposure to a landowner. The next, we would encourage that landowner to go to the Riparian web portal to learn about riparian areas and to view the data at that bird's eye view coarse scale. Not able to zoom in all the way, but they get to learn about their neighborhood and the watershed that they live in. And then we encourage them to browse the resources that's based on their landowner type. And then the last is to put projects on the ground. And that is key here, to come up with some project ideas that you could see happening on your parcel, and then to contact a local watershed group or conservation group, and even your municipality perhaps has a restoration program, and find out about the programs and funding that might be available, and then put your project on the ground. So I hope that lays out some examples of how you might be able to use this information and lead to action on the ground to improve watershed health. So that is it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary Ellen. This has been so helpful.